We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
The night before Brexit, when all through the house not an MP was stirring, not even a mouse. XmasParms completed they'd taken their coats, and gone back to their homes and to garner more votes. The cabinet dreamed they might find, with great glee, a trade deal or two all wrapped up 'neath the tree. And May, in best shoes, gave Dave Davis a peep, as he'd settled his brains for a long winter's sleep, when out the green benches there rose such a clatter, that she sprang to her feet to see what was the matter. And to the dispatch box she flew like a flash, afraid that some colleague was acting too rash. It could perhaps be Boris or Damian Green, but the truth was far stranger than e'er she had seen. A dream it might be, or a gruesome nightmare, a warning perhaps, to take heed, to beware. For there to her wondering eyes did appear a strange lumbering sleigh and 7 reindeer, with a slovenly driver, in charge of the carriage. She knew in a moment 'twas that rogue, Nigel Farage. Not Santa, but Krampus, was driving that sleigh, bringing pain and unhappiness, for Christmas Day. More slowly than laggards his flunkies they came, and he whistled, and shouted, and called them by name. Now dreamer. Now duncer. Now poser. And Paddy. On foxer. On gover. Rees-Moggy, so batty. To Brussels. To Junker. To Macron and Barnier, dash away. Dash away. Tell them, we'll have our way. And then we can bask in the sun's happy headlines, as we force them to grant us each one of our red lines. But Dreamer pranced sadly, as if lost in his thoughts, for he'd never prepared all those impact reports. And soon into Brussels the sleigh slowly flew, with all of their reasons for leaving the EU, all packed in a sack of falseness and lies, to hand to the people they loved to despise. In all but a twinkling, they were up on the roof, and gnawing, ignoring, each item of truth. They pranced and they danced in a woeful disorder, demanding, they said, a completely hard border. Except that in Ireland that could never be seen, they said, just to mollify the little Orlean. But yet when they cantered and were turning around, to the chimney old Jeremy came with a bound. He was dressed all in cord, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. I've been at the allotment, he said with a smile, and turned topsy-turvy as he slipped on a tile. A bundle of papers was flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, how on earth could we believe that this paragon ever had voted to leave? His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as grey as the snow. You thought I had left you, he said with a grin, but I've finally decided we are better off in. I know that I've left it till almost too late, but I just could not leave you to such a bad fate. Europe may be just a capitalist plan, but defeating the Tories, then I am your man. He had a thin face, and a little tight belly, that shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly. He was meager and spare, with a grizzled old beard, and yet not the demon that once I had feared. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon helped me to know that I'd nothing to dread. He pulled out a whip and walked up to the sleigh, and dragged cowering Fairchild out of his way. Back to Ratstock, young Moggy. Begone ideas. It was reindeer like you that created this mess. Bamooze old Gover, and Dreamer and Dunce, I will say this right now and say it just once. Britain's better in Europe, you've made a mistake, if you thought you could win here with news that was fake. All this time you have wasted, you can all go to hell. While these happy remainers have fun at Noel. He spoke no more words, but went straight to the sleigh, cracked the whip, shouted, go! And they galloped away. And laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, from the chimney he rose. But I heard him exclaim, as he slid down the drain. My friends, no more Brexit. We can now all remain